Today we are going to be unboxing the IDOO Indoor LED Hydroponic System. This unit usually retails in the range of $70 to $90 without deals and discounts, which you can usually find on popular retailers. This is their 12 plant unit. This is the US version in black. I like how they have the specs listed out on the side, including their noise. A lot of hydroponics fans out there will know that the noise of some things like air pumps and water pumps can be a little bit annoying. Okay, so first off we have our user manual, button instructions. I like that it's broken down, pretty straightforward, and also how to plant seedlings. I guess the two most important things right there on one card. I appreciate that. Okay, let's take this thing out. Oh, it's all kind of one unit, all right. Thing is definitely packed pretty firmly, which I appreciate, so it's not going to get bumped around, potentially injuring any components during shipping. Right here we have our LED light panel with fan in the middle for air circulation. I appreciate that. Actually, that's something I don't think I've ever seen in any of these tabletop hydroponic units. Little quality control sticker indicating it's not broken. That's cool. Looks like we have some varying LED light colors, trying to hit some different ends of the spectrum. We'll see how well that turns out. And we have these buttons up here on top. Also, it's like an interesting, like a fake Kevlar woven finish here, although it is just printed plastic. Top of the reservoir, it's going to hold our plant pods. Some pelletized plant food, very interesting. Power supply, very nice. Support bar for the LED lights. And it telescopes just like that. What we have right here is the air pump, it seems. And not going to have to do anything to get that ready. Seems like it's good to go. Serial number for warranty and this little, a drainage plug, interesting. Clear reservoir window so you can see what the water level is at. That's pretty nifty as well. Would also just like to note that there's this sliding cover for water filling. So once we have all that together, you can slide that over to refill with water and you don't have to take any of your plants out of their respective pods. This pops into the back right there like that. So this little knob right here is going to loosen it up so we can slide out a telescope, or we can keep it tight. And for germination, we're going to keep it tight like that. This littler plug is going to plug in right here on the right side when you're facing the light. And the power supply is going to get plugged in right here on the left side of the support arm. So, as you can see, we do have these two wires kind of dangling off the back here. This one powering the air circulation pump, and this one powering the light and fan system, as well as the buttons and supposedly the plant timer. Not a big fan of the wires in the back. Feels like it could have been a little bit better integrated into this support arm for the light, but that's okay. Probably saved on costs. Keeps this thing cost competitive in its sub $100 range. So let's give these things a shot, see how they fit in place. Okay, another little weird specialized net cup thing. It seems like these brands like manufacturing their own. As far as long-term durability goes, it seems that this clear plastic is going to be a little bit flimsier than the traditional black net cups, but regardless. Okay, so it sits nice and flush. These are definitely some of the more interesting grow sponges that I've seen. They're very smooth, potentially some inorganic content in there just because of the uniformity of these plugs. It's not something you see with peat or cocoa coir, even composted pine and fir bark. But we'll see how they grow. Very, very narrow divots for the seeds, but regardless, we'll put them to the test. So they just slide in right like that. Not too shabby. Put your seed in, plop it in there, and germination dome. Cool. All right, so let's get some measurements on this guy. Side to side, we are about 13 3/4 inches, 10 1/4 inch depth. The reservoir height is about 3.5 inches. And with the lowest setting of the light, it is 10 inches tall. And we are clocking in at just shy of 14.5 inches. So this is definitely a purple grow light, some attempt at creating a full spectrum LED grow light experience. You can check out our video linked here on purple grow lights and why you might not actually need or want one. But regardless, this is definitely a trend in the home hydroponic grow light industry. And yeah, this one is not too incredibly obnoxious to the eye, so I wouldn't mind having this in the corner of my kitchen, but you be the judge. Anyways, let's get some PPFD measurements on this bad boy. So this is fairly good. I'm not quite sure about the par value, but the PPFD is fairly decent for a unit of this price range and style. So we'll see how it fares in the grow test. Briefly, I'll just mention these buttons back here and what it seems they all do. We have the power button, on, off, clearly. These are touch sensitive buttons also, and that's something that it seems you'll see in all of these units nowadays. Power turns on lights and this nifty little fan, which is cool. That's probably just a little bit to dissipate heat that might build up after having the light on for 12 to 14 hours to 16 hours. And then you have the fan and water circulation on-off button. I'm not going to do that because I have not filled it with water yet. But again, check out our upcoming grow test side-by-side comparison of these sorts of units. So lastly, what we have here is this button that will change from vegetables to flowers and fruit. And that's just going to change the frequency of the light back and forth between what looks like a little bit more reddish, purpley for vegetables, and then a little bit whiter for flowers and fruit. Might be a little bit of a superfluous feature. I kind of doubt that a lot of plant science went into the distinction between flowers and fruit and vegetables, but hey, if it makes you happy, then so be it. So, pros and cons. I really like this fan for heat dissipation over the plants. That's nifty. I also like this hole cover for the water refilling hole. Vegetable versus flowers and fruit feature might come in nifty, depending on what you're growing, but only time will tell. Also, really like the clear reservoir here. You can just check by pulling back that cover, but then you need a flashlight or something, whereas right here, you can just see directly in. My only worry is that this could potentially become a con if we start having algae growth in there, as light will allow photosynthesis to occur inside there. Another thing that I like about this is this sleek little cover. I mean, I know it's just aesthetic, but the way that this plastic is painted is actually kind of nifty. As far as cons, I am not a fan of these dangly little wires in the back. That's not super cool. Also, this kind of feels a little flimsy, quite frankly. Yeah, it wobbles, and that kind of concerns me as far as long-term use value goes. But for now, it's fine. And as long as you're not bumping into it, you don't have any nosy pets or anything like that, it should not be too bad. And otherwise, not a lot to note here. I mean, it's a fairly boilerplate thing. IDOO has been having some success against the more mainstream competitors in this space, and it's fairly easy to see why. This is a solid unit and definitely stacks up to some of the more other popular competitors like AeroGarden, who occupy a higher price range. So overall, fairly good unit, and we'll see how it fares against its competitors. Well, that is it for our IDOO 12 pod hydroponic unit unboxing video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, check out our channel and be on the lookout for our side-by-side tabletop hydroponic unit comparison video.